Akpabio was finally disgraced and embarrassed by stronger senators in the House of Assembly. A lot of people did not see this. Akpabio was totally disgraced and embarrassed in the House of Assembly. You know, a lot of stronger senators actually collide together to disgrace Akpabio. Moment he was demanding for apology, they did not allow him to get the apology he was demanding for. He totally demanded for apology, but he received no apology. Now they disgrace Akpabio, they drag him on ground, and come and see the reaction of Akpabio after a whole video was played to him. Just stay connected to the end of the video. If you can share the video, just do what to share it. Share to the various social media platforms. Let it go viral. And if you can share it, just like the video, like it, give it a thumb up so that it will be recommended for us. Just stay connected. I'll come back again.
Welcome you back to LAJUPOG TV.
I don't have bad news for you today.
The home of religious gossip.
But you should leave the fight for Mohammed.
What is happening in the Christendom? Join now. It makes sense with LAJUPOG.
Hello my great and wonderful viewers, welcome back to LAJUPOG TV. For those of you coming across this channel for the very first time, for those of you that are new to this platform, just do what to click the rest subscription button appearing on your video screen, and on the same video, click the notification bell icon so that whenever we drop a new video in few hours time, YouTube will easily let you to know. Akpabio was dragged in the mud. You know, Akpabio was disgraced, and come and see the way big senators actually collide. You know, in the House of Assembly we have senators based on hierarchy. A lot of people call all of them senators, but there are some fresh senators, whereas there are some old senators, and old senators are being privileged more than the new senators because they call them senior senators. They are senior colleagues to other new senators that are just joining the House of Assembly in 2023. You know, there are some senators that have been in the House of Assembly since the regime of Buhari and all of that, but the new senators are not as ranked as the old senator. But come and see the way the old senators actually disgrace Akpabio. Those are the people that are as strong as Akpabio. It's not the new senator. Natasha is a new senator, but the old senators finally disgrace Akpabio. They rubbish Akpabio, they embarrass him, they rub him in the ground, and Akpabio was demanding for apology, but they even rubbed the apology on the face of Akpabio. You will see things for yourself. It was even Akpabio himself that even apologized. You will see things the way it goes. I will play the full video. You will see things for yourself. So I would like us to stay connected to the end of this video. If you can share the video as you're watching it, just want to share it. Share it to different social media platforms. Let a lot of people get to know what is happening as far as Nigeria is concerned. Let a lot of people get to know what is happening in the House of Assembly, and let a lot of people get to know what is happening between Akpabio and Natasha. And if you can share the video, just like it, give it a thumb up so that it will be recommended for us. You know, when the case of Akpabio and Natasha happened, then Akpabio did everything possible to suspend Natasha. And you know, when Natasha came out, Natasha alleged that Akpabio already have it in mind to suspend her. It's not only the ruling of other senators that Akpabio was actually waiting for, that Akpabio already have it in mind to suspend her. That's why Akpabio did everything possible to fast forward her suspension. Even when the court came on that Akpabio and other senators must not do anything against Natasha, they must not take any action based on her case because the case is already in court, because Natasha actually outsmarted them by going to the court first because she already knew that they want to suspend her. Now the court made directive that they did not suspend her, but Akpabio passed through the back with other senators and they suspended her. And according to what Natasha alleged, you know, before they can suspend the senator, other senators must sign and approve it. But the signature of other senators that are on the suspension letter wasn't their main signature. Natasha said there's no main senator that actually signed the suspension letter and all of that. It was the attendance signature that they actually used for her. That was what Natasha said when she arrives in Kogi. That's to tell you that a lot of fraud is actually going on in that House of Assembly if truly what Natasha alleged is really true. You know, a lot of things is actually going on. Now, the moment they suspended Natasha, Akpabio said something. He said Natasha should apologize, that she should come out verbally, she should make a written apology as well, that she should apologize to the entire Senate. That's when they can consider removing her suspension for that 6 months and all of that. Don't forget, they removed her security and they removed her salary and they stopped her staff salary as well, according to what they said. Now, Natasha says she's not going to apologize. Natasha did not give the apology that Akpabio was looking for. She didn't give it to Akpabio. And the same way, the bigger senators that rub Akpabio in the mud, that disgrace and embarrass Akpabio, they did not give Akpabio the apology that Akpabio was even looking for. It was even Akpabio that actually apologized to them. Come and see the way they disgrace the Senate. You see things for yourself. They say the Senate is not even existing, that the 10th assembly is a disaster, that is not even existing. You will see things the way they go. So you can share the video, just share the video. If you can share, just like it. Stay connected to the end of the video. Hear things for yourself. First of all, hear the short video of what Patu Tomi actually said about Akpabio and the 10th Senate in short clip. Then during the video, you will see what happened in the Senate. You will see what they actually did to Akpabio, and you will see the video they played to Akpabio. And after playing the video, you will see the reaction of Akpabio. The reaction of Akpabio to it is what I really wanted to point your eyes to. Come and see the way Akpabio actually reacted to all these things. Just wait till the end. I'm coming back again.
It's a non-assembly. I can tell you that. You can just write it off. The 10th assembly did not happen. It was a national disaster. But that is it. You know, I hope I'll have the grace and the time to write a book on the 10th assembly. But it has been a disgrace. If you go back to what some national assemblies have done, and Pastor Bakari pointed out examples of National Assembly in Nigeria historically. Look, at this time when there are so many challenges in our country, the 10th Assembly should have been in exhaustive conversations about the problems of legislation that can end all these insecurity, the terrorist state, people, private members' bills about state policing, community policing, and all of those. No, 10th Assembly doesn't have any time for that kind of thing. They have time for their own welfare. That's all they think about. And so Pastor Bakari was very right. The judiciary, oh, my heart bleeds, my heart bleeds, my heart bleeds. Look, most of the writing on how countries make progress focus on institutions and institution building. Today, how countries make progress is really not rocket science anymore. You can show how it happens. And there are countries that know what it takes to make progress, but they choose for some reason not to. It's been yonks since we started saying, look, part of the reason Nigerian economy is not growing is the Nigerian judiciary. Because anybody who looks at the kind of judgments that come out of the Nigerian judicial area will not seriously invest in Nigeria. This is not something that started last week. That's why I say we have a crisis of elite. You can blame Bola Tinubu for some things, but it's a bigger, broader problem. A crisis of elite. A judiciary failed us so badly. When we have institutions that can't work, like, look, you see, the electoral process doesn't work anymore. Nigerians don't trust INEC. And part of the reason they don't trust INEC is that INEC has passed the buck of deciding who wins an election to the judiciary. And people know what goes on in the judiciary and have lost confidence in it. Lawyers are the first people. By the way, Pastor Bakari, in his comments, quoted Bastiat, who I often refer to, his 1849 monograph, The Law, speaks so boldly about institution building, the role of the law in economic advance. And the law in Nigeria has been very badly managed. I tell lawyers, I pushed a number of lawyers to start years ago what was called Lawyers Interested in Free and Fair Elections Live, showing them example of what their colleagues, even in Pakistan, where they've had so much trouble, have done. When the Chief Justice of the country was bullied by the executive branch, lawyers marched on the streets in Karachi until government reversed itself. But our bourgeois law practitioners have watched the law become an object of, well, sorry to say, disdain. And I don't speak to this thinking that I am some isolated fellow. I've had NBA chairmen, because I've been invited very frequently to NBA affairs to come and comment. And I've had NBA chairmen basically dismiss the Nigerian judiciary, not once, not twice. How can we have a situation where even lawyers are dismissive of the judiciary and the judge still has the sense of presence?
You cannot. Akpabio, you cannot. Order 43, you cannot. Order 43, you cannot. Order 43. Order 43, you cannot. Order 43. You cannot.
The point of order is sustained.
Order, please.
Dismissed Senator Natasha, please, you are not recognized to speak from there. That is the order of the Senate.
Sir, order 10 on privileges. Order 10 on privileges.
Distinguished Senator Natasha.
Any senator may rise at any time to speak upon a matter of privilege suddenly arising, and he shall be prepared to move without notice. A motion declaring that the content of breach of privilege has been
suspension immediately.
Or refer.
One and two of our standing rules. Distinguished colleagues, the issue here is to maintain order in the way we do our business. But we must also recognize the right of every senator here to speak for himself and the people he's representing. So in doing so, I just want to appeal that there's no need for this bickering. Now, if you read... Who started it? Who started it? Who started it? It cannot function if systems will not function if you want it this way. If you want us to go, we'll leave. Go ahead with that direction. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, Akpabio.
The harassment I got today from your desk was totally unnecessary.
Senator Akpabio, let me first correct one. Before you started to speak, I asked, before you finish, no, let me correct. I asked the clerk. I asked the clerk whether he allocated that seat to you. He said he didn't. The clerk is here. Clerk, respond.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, if you remember last week when he came, he wanted a seat, and I allocated, I said he can sit where former Senator Dino was sitting before, because there was microphone there. So on the second time he came, he told me he would prefer to sit here. So I said there is no microphone there, but he said he will still prefer to sit there. So when he came this morning, and I was busy here when they said to me that he wants to sit there, I said he can sit there. That was what happened.
Senator Akpabio, the point I was saying to you, if you had waited, was that there was no microphone in that place, and you should know. That is why I'm now, as you are now the point, we're going to carry on.
Mr. President, with due respect, all I expect from this Senate today is a letter of apology. It's an apology to me, not even by way of letter, even verbal apology. I represent a constituency. I know my contribution to Nigeria. If the clerk of the Senate has authorized that I should sit here, and I was so embarrassed here today, we cannot run the Senate on a partisan basis. We must be bipartisan.
Senator Akpabio, It's not being partisan. You are sitting in a place where there's no microphone. We do not allow people to speak. All you had to do was to move to a place. So now that in a place of microphone, you can go ahead and speak, and then we make progress. Yes.
Even PDP apologized to Nigerians. What is the big deal? Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the President of the Senate has agreed that I require an apology, and maybe that will be discussed later. But let me say, Mr. President, all I am asking for is for every senator to be given the same right.
You are given the same right. There's no senator that is allowed to speak if there's no microphone. So that means there's nothing new. We have resolved that issue. There's no senator that is allowed to speak if there's no microphone. So there's nothing that has been done to you that is different to anybody. All I said, go to a place where there's microphone, you can speak. You cannot speak from a place where there's no microphone. And no senator has been allowed to speak in this chamber from where there's no microphone. Distinguished colleagues, let us make progress on issues that are important. These issues that if there's been a senator that have allowed to speak without a microphone, state. It has never happened in this chamber. All we said is there's no microphone where you are. Go to a place where there's one and you can speak. Now you have the floor, speak, and let us make progress.
In view of the situation of the Senate today, I want to apologize to my colleagues if I raised my voice earlier, and to say that until the Senate is well reconstituted and the sitting arrangements well arranged, I want to hold my peace. Thank you for the opportunity.
Leader of the Senate.
The point of order is sustained.
Order, please.
Dismissed Senator Natasha, please, you are not recognized to speak from there. That is the order of the Senate.
Sir, order 10 on privileges. Order 10 on privileges.
Distinguished Senator Natasha.
Any senator may rise at any time to speak upon a matter of privilege suddenly arising, and he shall be prepared to move without notice. A motion declaring that the content of breach of privilege has been
that allows suspension immediately.
Or refer.
Pastor with the line on top, pastor for LAJUPOG Watch TV.
Be taken. I do not hear being silenced.
What you will do, Mr. Senate President,
Leader of the Senate. Leader of the Senate. Yes, point of order.
For LAJUPOG Watch TV. Pastor with the back, where politician with the do pass me,
A senator may make a personal explanation, although there be no question before the Senate. But no controversial matter may be brought forward, nor may debate arise upon the explanation. The terms of the proposed statement shall be submitted in detail to the President of the Senate when his leave to be made is sought. Your Excellency, I want to, before I proceed with this explanation, I want to refer to Order 6. Order 6 says, the President of the Senate shall allocate a seat to each senator. Okay, a senator may only speak from the seat allocated to him, provided the President of the Senate may change the allocation from time to time. Your Excellency, an incident happened this morning that involved one of the senators from Kogi East, Senator Natasha AKPOTI Uduaga. I want to talk on this because I am also from Kogi East and I feel concerned. The movement of the senators, the recent movement of the senators is attributable mainly to the defection of Senator Nedmoko and Ezenwa. And as a result of that, there was a need to reallocate the seats accordingly. So the Senate President did what is expected of him, but the reaction from my colleague senator from Kogi State this morning is uncalled for. I want to sincerely apologize on behalf of the Kogi caucus to the Senate President and the entire Senate that this will not repeat itself again under any other scenario. It will not repeat itself again.
On page 9 of our rules books, Order 6, Rule 2. Order 6 states, the President of the Senate shall allocate a seat to each senator. 6.2. A senator may only speak from the seat allocated to him, provided the President of the Senate may change the allocation from time to time.
Please read that again.
Okay.
Is that the President of the Senate shall
The President of the Senate shall allocate a seat to each senator.
Yes.
And it went further to state that a senator may only speak from the seat allocated to him, provided that the President of the Senate may change the allocation from time to time. So it is at the discretion of the President of the Senate, as circumstances warrant, to change seats as time goes on, based on circumstances that may crop up in the course of the proceedings of the Senate. And in the course of the proceedings of the Senate, 2 senators from the PDP, that is Senator Ned Nwonko.
Which faction of PDP? Which faction?
And
Senator Dixon's faction. Akpabio.
And also Senator Francis Ezenwa of the Labour Party also decamped to APC, thereby necessitating their movement from the other side to this side, thereby creating vast spaces in the opposition side. And then pursuant to that, and in the exercise of the powers conferred on the Senate President, pursuant to Order 6, Rule 2 and 2A, the President of the Senate decided to rearrange this seat giving directives to the chief whip to exercise that function. And pursuant to that directive, seats were reallocated. And I was surprised to report that Senator Natasha, having given another seat, refused to vacate her former seat in flagrant violation of our rules. So I am craving for, ordinarily I don't want to bring it to the attention of the Senate, but now that Senator Natasha insisted on staying on her former seat in spite of the rearrangement of the seats, I am craving for indulgence to resume the seat that has been lawfully allocated to her pursuant to the provisions of our rules, and in the exercise of the powers conferred on the Senate President to resume her new seat. If not, the Senate President may decide to exercise the powers conferred on him not to allow her to contribute to any debate from that seat, thereby depriving her constituency of a voice. Thank you.
I hope the renovation will not turn us into South African Parliament, where you hear Malema, 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 sit down, Malema, sit down, Malema, sit down. And that is because we know how the electronic system ought to work. I recall that in the 8th Senate, I had almost a similar issue where seats were reallocated as a result of movements. And I also moved at that time. So when I came into the chambers, they gave me a different seat. The next day they gave me a different seat. The third day they gave me a different seat. So I also voiced out my anger. And I said, what is going on here? And then the Senate President was able to control. So everything I said did not get out to the public. And so social media had nothing to feast on. So unfortunately, we need to go back to our old microphone system so that people will not speak out of order and then speak when they are not recognized. So I apologize on behalf of the contractor who did this. Now, the civil senator Abamoro actually mentioned this issue because we are not the judiciary, but he said that is something that is capable of bringing crisis to the government and the people of Benue State. So I think is it the view of the Senate that he be allowed to proceed with the motion under Order 41 and 51? Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senator, I didn't hear your voice. So you may proceed because we are not the judiciary. But he said that is something that is capable of bringing crisis to the government and the people of Benue State. So I think is it the view of the Senate that he be allowed to proceed with the motion under Order 41 and 51? Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senator, I didn't hear your voice. So you may proceed.
Thank you for staying connected, my great and wonderful viewers. You can see the drama that actually unfolded. You know, Akpabio was in the 8th Assembly, and during the 8th Assembly, that was in the regime of Buhari. You know, I said this in one of my videos. I said, this thing that Natasha did to Akpabio has done it before. You know, Akpabio was in that 8th Assembly, and that was in the regime of Buhari, and SARAKI was the Senate President then. Now, Akpabio misbehaved. Akpabio fought in the House of Assembly. The only thing that remained was that he didn't punch, but he actually raised his voice on other senators. They almost fight in the House of Assembly. Then that was in the 8th Assembly. Now, The same thing happened in the 10th Assembly, and in the 10th Assembly, Akpabio happens to be the Senate President. But in that 8th Assembly, other stronger senators actually disgraced Akpabio. Dino was there, Dino Melaye was there, you know, opposition parties were there. Akpabio wasn't in APC then, Akpabio was in PDP, but they allow Akpabio to actually express himself, and you can see the way SARAKI was actually talking to him. SARAKI was talking to him in such a way that just calm down, sit down in where they ask you to sit down, all of that. Even the clerk, you can hear from the clerk, those other senators in the House of Assembly at that very moment, they were more stronger than Akpabio, and some of them were even as strong as Akpabio, so they could tackle him. Akpabio, after the whole scenario of the seat allocation and all of that, you know, Akpabio was even the one that was even guilty according to the whole scenario. But SARAKI did not suspend him. SARAKI did not give him any means of suspension, even to the extent that he will suspend him for 6 months, to the extent that they will even withdraw his security, to the extent that they will do all manner of dehumanization to him. They didn't do all of that to him, but the whole issue actually died down there. They did not allow it to escalate, but Akpabio misbehaved obviously, and all those stronger senators, they were reading laws for themselves, and according to report, Akpabio was actually guilty of everything. Now you can see that they played this same video to Akpabio in the House of Assembly, and after they played Akpabio the video, you can date back to this video towards the ending of this video that I just finished showing you. Akpabio laughed over it. They said, Akpabio, I've done it before. The moment Natasha was suspended by Akpabio, they played this video back to Akpabio, but Akpabio laughed over it, and he said his own case is different from Natasha's case and all of that. But what makes Natasha's case to be different from what Akpabio did in the 8th Assembly then when SARAKI was the Senate President? You can see the reaction of Akpabio when they played it to him. He just laughed over it. He laughed because he knew that he had done it before. He messed up big time then. Though when the matter actually started, you can check back to the video if you don't watch it well. When the matter actually escalated in the 8th Assembly, Akpabio was asking for apology. Akpabio said he needs to be apologized to. Even when SARAKI was telling Akpabio that Akpabio needs to apologize now, Akpabio was telling SARAKI back, which was the Senate President then, Akpabio said he needs to apologize to him, that he's not owing anybody an apology, that he himself deserves to be apologized to, and that was what Akpabio stood for and all of that. It was later that Akpabio actually apologized verbally and all of that. Now the same scenario of what actually happened there, that was the same thing, the same seat allocation fight, that was the same thing that transpired when Akpabio became the Senate President in the 10th Assembly. That was the same drama that unfolded, and Natasha actually came up to Akpabio, and Natasha fought Akpabio based on the same seat allocation. You can see that everything that is actually happening here is karma. Karma actually speaks for itself. You know, when SARAKI was there, Akpabio did it to him, but Akpabio is there now. Natasha actually did it to him, but Natasha was suspended. Why do Akpabio moves in a hurry even when the court make ruling that they should not make any action against Natasha? Why did they still go ahead to suspend her? Why did they need to suspend her? Why did they even suspend her for 6 months? Because according to the constitution, they said they cannot suspend a senator for more than 14 days, which is 2 weeks. Why did they extend that suspension to 6 months? A lot of people and a lot of legal practitioners are saying that the suspension is not constitutional, but why are they really doing this? Those are the questions that a lot of people are asking, that Akpabio is really power drunk and is actually misusing the power that was bestowed on him in the Senate and all of that. Now, they suspended Natasha, but they did not suspend Akpabio. But Akpabio almost fight, but Natasha did not even do like as if she actually wanted to fight. It's not because I'm siding Natasha. I'm not siding anybody. I'm not in the back of anybody, because the investigation is still on based on the matter. But we're just analyzing the fact. The same thing that happened before, and the same thing still transpired again when Akpabio seated as the Senate President. Now, a lot of people are calling on Akpabio that the same way SARAKI actually treated him then, that the same way should be the way that he will treat Natasha, because he himself has done it before. Those are the questions that a lot of people are asking, and even Natasha even came out. Natasha make it known to the general public that a lot of senators have thrown punch on themselves in the House of Assembly. A lot of senators have tear clothes on each other's neck in the House of Assembly. A lot of senators have beaten themselves in the House of Assembly. That's the House of Assembly. A lot of dramas have unfolded between senators there, but they settled the matter there. They did not suspend them. How much more shit that did not even throw a punch or fight anybody or tear clothes on anybody and all of that. And she even said that she was even filtering her words when she was talking or responding to Akpabio in the Senate House. But why did they give her so much suspension like that? Now, Natasha said Akpabio already have the suspension thing in mind before. That Akpabio did not like seeing her face in that Senate House again. That was why Akpabio actually suspended her. Natasha alleged all these things. She said everything, and she said everything on a clean ground. Now, you will notice that in the 8th Assembly of Saraki, opposition really matters in that 8th Assembly. It was opposition friendly. But in the 10th Assembly, a lot of people, according to report, they said the 10th Assembly that Natasha and Akpabio is right now is not opposition friendly. Even Natasha herself came out. Even a lot of senators came out. They said it is not opposition friendly. The opposition, if any opposition should come out to speak, the opposition will be silent forever. Those are the things that is happening now. Drop your opinion in the comment section on this video. Regarding this video that I just finished watching, Akpabio has done it before, but the same Akpabio is now the Senate president and Natasha did it to him. What do you think regarding all these things? Why did they suspend Natasha? Is it really right or wrong? Drop your opinion. I'm gonna get another channel for you and share. Follow me on my social media handles on Facebook at LAJUPOG Watch TV and Live Entertainment, and on Instagram at LAJUPOG. Guess what, guys? See you in my next video. And bye for now.
I see the hot for my body, I say make I yarn you. Religious gossip plenty day for body, day for you. Pastor where the line on top, be pastor. For LAJUPOG Watch TV. Pastor where the back, where politician where they do pass himself. Corrupt leader, all the while you waiting for church. All as LAJUPOG Watch TV.